Do you think that sports have a lifelong, lasting impression when you participate in sports? I think they do. I think that you have to look deep in the sport to find it. But I want to talk about a sport that has really left a long, lasting impression on me. I met a wonderful person that was my Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you're familiar with Star Wars. He was my Jedi leader, taught me the sport, taught me all the fine points of this. This is a sport that you need to be able to control your heart rate. You need to be able to control your breathing. We can't control those two things. They're automatic. We have this little part back here in the back of our head that does this, whether we want to or not. But you need to learn to be a yogi to control your body. You need to be a Zen master to control your breathing. To be successful at this sport at the level that it takes to be successful. This is the high of the high in this particular sport. It's a simple sport. There's other sports that are similar to this. But one of the really interesting things with this is there isn't one score that will win. 300 is a perfect score. Bowling, 300 is a perfect score. All X's in your scorecard. This is a little bit different. 300, you would take your targets and give them to the scorer, and the scorer would then evaluate your target. A target, simple piece of paper. We start with a piece of paper. But the real crux of it is what's on the target. It's 10 circles, but in the middle of the circle is a 22,000 circle. Touching that circle will get you 10 points. But it came back to say, a perfect score of 300, there's 300 possible points, there's 3 of these targets, will only get you to a point to have someone evaluate your target. And you can pass this around so you can see it. That's an interesting thing when you've hit all the points, but you aren't there yet. You're not the winner. There's always a winner and loser in sports. This is where Dick Pell, a very amazing man that was an old man when I met him, and took the time out of his life to teach me the sport of competitive indoor bench rest shooting, of all things. And this is a bench rest target. It's the pinnacle of accuracy. You have to find every means in yourself, in every piece of your equipment, in your solid rest. It takes a good rest to be a good bench rest shooter. You have to have everything so that there's no movement whatsoever to be able to be consistent and be able to have an opportunity to win the competition. The way you're going to win the competition is what's called an X. And as this target has been passed around, you see that 22,000th dot in the middle. An X is when there is nothing around the black, only white. It has to be perfect. That is an X. And in this competition, you'll have a 317X, 15X. That's the X, the perfect shot, is how the winner is determined. And when you think 22,000, that's smaller than most of the pencils that you're writing with. This is a very small thing. When I look at what this sport taught me and what Dick showed me were 2 really important things. That to be good at something, you have to really work at it. You've got to spend time and a lot of effort and a lot of practice to be good. But he also taught me that the evil of great is good. Let me say that again. The good is the evil of great. That's something that I can take through my life and have and thought about a lot. Good is the evil of great. You can place that in many parts of your life. Oh, that was good enough. But what would great have been? How much better would great have taken you? So I truly feel that in a sport, that taught me that good is the evil of great. He also taught me another thing. In this sport, we can build the rifle, we can build the rest, we can do all the practice. And that'll get us to good. But that extra great is somewhat out of our control in that in 22 rimfire bench rest shooting, you're buying the ammunition from the manufacturer. I can't control what that manufacturer did. I can control my practice, I can control my heart rate, I can control my breathing, but I can't control what a manufacturer does. So it taught me another very valuable lesson. It taught me that work on changing the things that are in your control and not worry about the things that are out of your control. I can't, and where that comes into play is when we look at this, we have the only thing, all the other circles don't matter. The only one is the one right in the middle. And if you get a flyer and you know that you did everything absolutely right, and a flyer is when it goes where you didn't send it, that's the manufacturer. That's something the manufacturer did. You know, because of your practice, your commitment, everything that you've done to that point, that you did it right. When you squeeze that trigger, your eyes can be closed, and you open your eyes, and it's not where you sent it. I can't control that. That was something the manufacturer did. I knew I did it right. And with that, I do think sports gives you a lifelong commitment and also teaches you something in sports. Toastmasters.